This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello, everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, hello, everybody, and welcome back to what is actually May Bank Holiday here, the 1st of May. Classic week is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. This coming weekend, we have the UK 1,000 Guineas, the UK 2,000 Guineas, as well as the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. So if anybody wants to know what I'm saying ahead of those races and ahead of the Classic season, then head to Classic Watch 2023, which can be found at classicwatch2023.ml. Right, why we're here today is we're going to try and continue our review of how horses identified on the YouTube channel are performing at all the spring National Hunt Festivals. We've recently reviewed the Cheltenham Festival, and today it's time to skip forward a fortnight or so and head back over to Ireland and the Easter meeting held at Fairyhouse. It's a 3-day meeting featuring the Irish Grand National, as well as many other Group 1 races. What I'm going to do is take a look at the 4 races over the 3 days where horses identified on the YouTube channel have actually ran. We're going to start on the first day of the festival, I think, which was Saturday the 8th of April. And we had a runner. I don't like AVG when it interrupts our content like that. We had a race in the 3rd race, which was the Mare's Novice Chase. And the horse we had in that was Allegory Devassi, who was looking to bounce back from losing her unbeaten chase record at the hands of Impervious recently at the Cheltenham Festival. This drop in class, don't forget the filly, the mare, has already won 2 Grade 2 chases, and this drop down to listed level hopefully would have been the perfect confidence booster for the mare as she looks to get back on winning track. Unsurprisingly, she went off a warm odds-on favourite on the day for trainer Willie Mullins. One thing we will say is we normally use Sky Racing for all our videos. We review these festivals under fair use anyway, so they are copyright exempt. But today, when we looked at this race, Sky Racing had them both on split screen, a racing from the UK as well as a race from Ireland. So we are in fact having to go to the Racing TV website to take a look at this race. It's not a website I would ever recommend that anybody uses for anything, if they can help it. There is no purpose to this website at all, apart from filtering you towards bookies. They try and control the who watches the races and who can actually look at these races. Regarding the results section, it only shows races, results of racing they cover themselves. And in the UK, I mean, if people were looking to find the result of a German listed race, for instance, then people are wasting their time looking at racing TV. You know, it's just, I don't know why this website exists. It's just to get affiliates with bookies and things like that. But we've skipped all them, where people, when they click to watch a full race replay, well, I have to endure bookies for adverts. You'll see there at the bottom of this. Look. I mean, all it is just a portal for bookmakers to try and get in touch with people. The gambling white paper will never stop all the things like this. You know, sites like this existed. A bookmaker's affiliate masquerading as a media company. You know, they don't own any of our contents. We could use every race we wanted to off their website, and it will all be done under fair use if we review it. You know, we've been critical of the website as well. We've reviewed the website, and we're now going to review the race under fair use. The Boyle Sports, another bookmaker. It'd be impossible for me to recommend Boyle Sports. You know, they were one of the first to close my account. I've had many people, a very funny booking. Very hard to keep the account ticking over unless you're actually losing to these people. There's not very many promotions, is what I'm saying. It's it is just a place for addicts to lose, really. No fun to be had at Boyle Sports. All right, we're going to take a look at this race now. The mare's listed chase on day one of the meeting. And let's start this video now.
White flag is raised. And thereof, over the extended 2-5, 7 mares in the listed Boys Sports Novice Chase. And it's Honesty the leader on the shortest round of the first fence, followed by stable companion Allegory de Vassy, Limerick Lace third, then Sit Down Lucy, Broomfield Hall, Motown Maggie, Time to Rocco. On they come to the second fence, and spacing them out is Honesty over fence number 2, followed by Allegory de Vassy. After the odds on favourite Limerick Lace, Sit Down Lucy has moved up to that mare, and then Broomfield Hall with the final couple, Motown Maggie and Time to Rocco. Further strung out as they turn into fences 3, 4 and 5. In the lead is Honesty, followed by Allegory de Vassy, Limerick Lace third, then Sit Down Lucy, Broomfield Hall, Motown Maggie, Time to Rocco, as they jump the first of the 3 fences in the straight where a blunder was made by Motown Maggie. On to number 4, Honesty in front of Allegory de Vassy, then Limerick Lace, Sit Down Lucy with the noseband fourth, and then Broomfield Hall, Time to Rocco, relegates to the rear of the field, Motown Maggie. Fence number 5, final fence next time. Honesty, more than tickled the top, but got to the landing side, followed by Allegory de Vassy, 5 lengths to Limerick Lace, then Sit Down Lucy, Broomfield Hall, Time to Rocco and Motown Maggie. In single file, with the circuit of race and 12 fences left to jump, Honesty and Danny Mullins in front by less than 3 lengths to Allegory de Vassy and Paul Townend. In third is Limerick Lace, Mark Walsh. In fourth is Sit Down Lucy, Sean Flanagan. Fifth is Broomfield Hall and Luke Dempsey. Then Time to Rocco, Michael O'Sullivan with the back marker, Motown Maggie and Dennis O'Regan. On to the first of the 3 fences past the stands. Honesty, tracked by Allegory de Vassy, Limerick Lace third, then Sit Down Lucy, Broomfield Hall, Time to Rocco and Motown Maggie. Little changes from first to last as they go to their first ditch. Honesty followed by Allegory de Vassy. Honesty put down there, backed off that ditch. As a consequence, much closer in second is Allegory de Vassy, then Limerick Lace, Sit Down Lucy, Broomfield Hall, Time to Rocco, and the back marker is Motown Maggie. Last one in this line, Honesty, much better at that, followed by Allegory de Vassy, Limerick Lace, Sit Down Lucy, 6 lengths to Broomfield Hall, who has 2 behind, Time to Rocco and Motown Maggie. Going up to the halfway stage, 9 fences left to jump in the Boys Sports Mares Novice Chase. Honesty followed by Allegory de Vassy, Limerick Lace third, then Sit Down Lucy, who joined Limerick Lace in the air as they make the descent to the next 2 fences on the far side, a plane to be followed by their second and final ditch. Honesty bowling along out in front of Allegory de Vassy, runner up to the smart Impervious and the mares at Cheltenham, and then Limerick Lace, who really had to stretch for that, out jumped by Sit Down Lucy over the next to the far side. Honesty followed by Allegory de Vassy, Sit Down Lucy, ridden in fourth is Limerick Lace, having lost that spot, third spot to Sit Down Lucy, then Broomfield Hall, Time to Rocco, and Motown Maggie. Less than 7 furlongs to go, they're well strung out as they return to their point of departure. Honesty in the lead from Allegory de Vassy, Sit Down Lucy. As they approach the next fence, 6 from the finish. Honesty in front with 3/4 of a mile to go from Allegory de Vassy, Sit Down Lucy, Limerick Lace, Broomfield Hall, then Time to Rocco. As they pass their point of departure, 5 fences left to jump. Honesty reeled in by the favourite, Allegory de Vassy, Limerick Lace, has taken back the third from Sit Down Lucy and then Broomfield Hall. As Onsty is at the next, 5 from home, from Allegory de Vassy. Sit Down Lucy, Limerick Lace, swapping the third, and then Broomfield Hall, Time to Rocco, struggling badly is Motown Maggie. 4 to jump, half a mile to go. Onsty, followed by Allegory de Vassy, within a couple of lengths, albeit landed a tad steeply in second. Then Sit Down Lucy, pushed and shoved along on the inside, Limerick Lace, and then Broomfield Hall, running the home turn. 3 fences left to jump, and it's still the same two. The stable companions, first and second, coming to the third last. Onsty, Danny Mullins on the left. Allegory de Vassy is almost on terms for Paul Townend. In third place, Limerick Lace, and then Broomfield Hall, Sit Down Lucy, Time to Rocco. Onsty on the right. On the left, Allegory de Vassy, as they jump to second last. Not much between them. Allegory de Vassy over on the far side gets to the long-time leader and stable companion Onsty, clear of Limerick Lace, Broomfield Hall. Onsty is finding on the stand side of Allegory de Vassy. He's going to have to dig down deep and made a mistake. Allegory de Vassy gives the advantage back to Onsty. Allegory de Vassy's got weary and driven clear. It's Onsty upstaging her stable companion Allegory de Vassy by 8 lengths. Limerick Lace third, fourth Broomfield Hall. Quick fire double for Willie Mullins, but not in the order expected.
Well, what can people say, really? How they managed to concoct that between them is absolutely incredible, really. You saw how well, despite giving away a penalty, Allegory de Vassy was challenging. A mistake at the last put paid to her chances, and the so-called stable string, second string, managed to steal the listed prize on this occasion. I mean, what can people do to stop this? I mean, they're owned by different people, so they look different on to the eye. But I don't know, it's brutal. I mean, that is why I would never really encourage anybody to really get heavily financially involved in this game, unless you actually own the horses yourself. These people, they're not to be trusted. I mean, an incredible outcome of a race there. I mean, people will only need to watch the races we've shown with Allegory de Vassy. And I'm not sure if she's touched a twig really in all the fences that she's jumped in the first races, but she has had a long season. But you see there that even after being beaten by 9.5 lengths, the Racing Post have rated the performance of the two horses the same, 158. So that was all just purely on the last fence. I mean, what can you say? He never fell off, but terrible mistake at the last there by Paul Townend. Really was brutal. And Rich Ritchie, you see, the owner of Allegory de Vassy, is an ex-bookmaker, you know. So when 4-9 favourites get beaten like that, brutally like that, well, how far was the race? 2 mile, 5.5 furlongs. It was the best horse in the race for 2 mile, 5 furlongs at least. And then the half furlong after the jockey had taken all the chance away from the horse at the last. It is what it is sometimes, this sport. We just have to move on and lick our wounds, which we did on to the next day, which was the Sunday, where we had another 3 horses running for us on the channel. The next, including, another 4 horses, 2 in one race. The next race we had a look at on the Sunday was again the third race of the day, the Honeysuckle Mares Novice Hurdle. A race sponsored by a horse, named in honour of a horse and not by a bookmaker. Absolutely beautiful to see that. I can't see why all races just can't do that. You know, there's no reason why bookmakers need to sponsor any races in the history of racing. No point whatsoever. If nobody wants to sponsor the races, then what is that telling people? The races shouldn't be there. No demand for them. So apart from we're in the bookmaking industry. So we're going to take a look now at the Grade 1 Novices Hurdle and the horse we had identified in this race. was the Simon Munier and Isaac Swede owned Night and Day. I mean, very impressive it was on its first hurdle start. We'll put a video up to the pedigree of the horse around now. It missed its engagement at the Cheltenham Festival, which we found disappointing. This day here was very frustrating because the horse on the exchanges went something multiplied in price by 10 times. I think it opens up something like 5, and it was available at something like 30 or 40 towards the off, about 7 or 8 times. The horse had just drifted all day, the mare did. A beautifully bred horse, a convincing winner last time out, and somebody before this race, I think, knew how this horse was going to perform. I can't see how else it can be explained, the alarming drift on the day. But we'll take a look at the race, the Honeysuckle Mares Novices Hurdle. Like I said, the third race of the second day.
And thereof, 14 mares over 2.5 miles and 11 flights in the Irish Stallion Farms EBF Honeysuckle Mares Novice Hurdle. First grade 1 of the festival. And it is Princess Zoe, the grey mare, disputing the early running with Harmonium Maker. 2 off the rail is Jatara. They're tracked by What Could Have Been and Halkadoo to Bert. Not far behind them is Ava Grace and then Night and Day and Astro Diamond, who's in mid-division in these early stages as they come to jump the second flight on the approach to the straight, where the leader took a dive, Harmonium Maker, but survived the blunder. Leads Princess Zoe, Jatara with the noseband fourth, What Could Have Been, then Halkadoo to Bert and Night and Day and Ava Grace and Ashroad Diamond and Riga Choice next with A Lot of Joy and Got Glory and Magical Zoe. Hauturier, a position in front of her stable companion Pink in the Park as they turn in for their final 2 miles in flights 3 and 4. Out in front is Harmonium Maker, extending her lead to 4 to 5 lengths over Princess Zoe, disputing the third place What Could Have Been and Jatara, then Ava Grace and Halkadoo Tebert and Ashroad Diamond and Night and Day, and obviously on the inside in the two-tone green colours, and then A Lot of Joy and Riga Choice, flight number 4, the last one next time. And over, nicely clear of the field, Harmonium Maker, and Luke Dempsey with Princess Zoe in second place, Danny Mullins. On the rail is What Could Have Been and Aidan Kelly, and then Jatara and Sean O'Keefe. Ava Grace follows them with a couple of lengths to Halkadoo Tebert and A Lot of Joy and Ashroad Diamond racing together. On the inside is Night and Day, then Magical Zoe. Next, Riga Choice with Got Glory alongside the final couple, Hauturier and Pink in the Park. Making the run uphill along the side of the track to the next 2 flights. Little changes in the order of running, as it's Harmonium Maker cementing a sizable advantage over Princess Zoe, and then Jatara, What Could Have Been, and Ava Grace next. Then Halkadoo Tebert, A Lot of Joys on the outside of Ashroad Diamond, the Solarina winner here on her last start, as they continue on the ascent to the next flight, bringing them to the halfway stage. Harmonium Maker, clouting that in second, was Princess Zoe. Harmonium Maker is falling back to the pack. Princess Zoe leads them with What Could Have Been, Jatara, Ava Grace, Halkadoo Tebert next, then A Lot of Joy and Ashroad Diamond. Creeping into contention is Magical Zoe, the Night and Day and Riga Choice, and Hauturier. At the rear of the field, both Got Glory and Pink in the Park. 10 furlongs out, they've 5 flights left to jump. And the Grade 1 Irish Stallion Farms EBF Honeysuckle Mares Novice Hurdle, with the first prize of €59,000, and continuing in front, Harmonium Maker from Princess Zoe, who continues to give chase as she's done from the drop of the flag. Then Jatara, What Could Have Been, is on the inside. They're followed by Halkadoo Tebert and Ava Grace and Ashroad Diamond and Night and Day, racing on to the final 7 furlongs with 4 flights to jump. Harmonium Maker followed by Princess Zoe, and then Jatara and What Could Have Been. No changes in the leading 4. Then Halkadoo Tebert, who's never been too far off them. Then Ava Grace and A Lot of Joy and Night and Day and Ashroad Diamond and Riga Choice, tracked by Magical Zoe, and then Hauturier and Pink in the Park. Relegates Got Glory to be the back marker. They're very tightly grouped. They've just passed their point of departure. 6 furlongs to go and 4 to jump. Harmonium Maker followed by Princess Zoe, who left her hind ones in it. Improving in between them is What Could Have Been. Then Jatara, Night and Day on the inside. In a bumping match with Riga Choice. Then Alcadu Tabert, Lot of Joy. Ava Grace on the outside. Then Astro Diamond, Magical Zoe. 3 flights left to jump. Harmonia Maker joined by What Could Have Been. Then Princess Zoe. Ava Grace on the outside of Jatara, followed by Night and Day, who hit it hard. Alcadu Tabert next with Riga Choice improving, along with stable companion Magical Zoe, and then Astro Diamond and Pink in the Park. What Could Have Been has shot to the front and skipped 3-4 lengths clear on the turn into the straight. From Alcadu Tabert, closing Lot of Joy. Magical Zoe's on the outside of Jatara, then Riga Choice. Coming into it is Astro Diamond, then Pink in the Park, and Hauturier straightening for the final 2 flights, and it is What Could Have Been and Aidan Kelly gone for the honeysuckle mares. They're clear from Astro Diamond, who's making a move on the outside of Magical Zoe. Then comes Lot of Joy, the second last. What Could Have Been the leader from Astro Diamond, who's chiseling away at the deficit, has it down now to a couple of lengths, and on the near side Astro Diamond looks to have plenty up her sleeve, jumps to the front at the last from What Could Have Been a faller, an ugly looking fall for Riga Choice, but it's Astro Diamond further enhancing her Fairyhouse statistics as she wins the honeysuckle mares for Paul Townend and Willie Mullins by 5. Second, What Could Have Been, who's run a blinding race. Back in third, Pink in the Park, then Hauturier, Magical Zoe and Lot of Joy. And glad to report both Riga Choice.
Well, very good race there. I mean, I think there would have been a riot if Townend had fell off that one, coming to the last, or not fell off it, but took the chance away from the horse. But this time, Astro Diamond did the job. You'll see there, though, the rating of the race, 139, would at this stage indicate that it might not have been the strongest Grade 1 we've looked at this year. Night and Day, well, our one, it was just Daryl Jacob tried to sneak her into the race. They made a horrible mistake. After the terrible mistake after 3 out. And that was it then. He just decided that the horse had lost all chance after that, and it was sad to see such a well-bred horse pulled up. But being by distinctive look, we know that she should get 3 miles. Super Sunday, the trip, there didn't seem to be any excuse for this run. The drift before the race was very alarming indeed. And again, we were just on the wrong horse on the day. You know, it's like poker. You play a hand 100 times, you probably get 80 different winners. Horse racing is exactly the same as that. So Night and Day was unfortunately, but it's a horse that I would definitely keep on side, and hopefully we'll see it come back to form in due course. Right, the next race we had interest in was the Grade 1 Gold Cup Chase, which was the 7th race on the card. So we'll just see. We're back on Sky Racing now. We have to change the 3 for a 7.
Most recent hoofprints of Gab.
And we're still back on the single screen, so we're okay to use this website for the Grade 1, which we had 2 in again, coming back from defeat at the Cheltenham Festival. Mighty Potter, who was unfortunately beaten when odds-on favourite in the Turner's Novice Chase at the Cheltenham Festival, and also another horse that was well beaten on the day at the Turners, James de Burle, whatever you people want to call the horse, will also line up back in the Gold Cup Chase, a Grade 1. Don't forget, Mighty Potter, dual Grade 1 winner over novice chases before losing at the Cheltenham Festival. James de Burle, whatever, was, to be fair to him, since he got off the mark over fences, has looked exposed at Grade 1 level, but rather than drop him in class and maybe look for confidence boosters, connections are determined to run him in these Grade 1 races, an indicator of how highly the horse is thought of, maybe. But we'll take a look how this race panned out now. Grade 1 Novice Chase, which was the 7th race on the 2nd day of the Easter Festival at Fairyhouse.
Most recent hoofprints of Gallop and Deschamps. Here's Jerry Hannon.
Here we go. Tape released and away in the Willow Warm Grade 1 Gold Cup. €100,000, a short run to the first of 16 fences, and it's Flame Bearer and James de Burley onto the first. Out over a couple of lengths in front of Appreciated, Mighty Potter, and running the rail is Authorized Art. They're followed by the mare Bride's Hill and Sir Gerhard, adamantly chosen the back marker as they turn into fences 2, 3 and 4. And it's Flame Bearer opening up a 2.5 length advantage over James de Burley, tracked in by Mighty Potter, red and white on the outside of Appreciated. Away to the inside, Authorized Art, followed by Sir Gerhard, Bride's Hill, and adamantly chosen the final couple. Fence number 3. Centre fence in the straight on the left, it's Flame Bearer from James de Burley. Slight mistake, Mighty Potter, but okay. And then Authorized Art and Appreciated in between horses. And then Sir Gerhard, adamantly chosen, joins Bride's Hill at the back of the field. Fence number 4. And the final fence next time, where the mistake that time was made by Appreciated. Coming up to pass the winning post, having jumped 4, it's Flame Bearer by 2 1/4 lengths to James de Burley, Mighty Potter. Improving on the inside is Sir Gerhard, the blue cap, and then Appreciated. Authorized Art is 2 behind Bride's Hill and adamantly chosen. With the circuit to go and 12 fences left to jump. The leader is Flame Bearer. 1 of 6 in the race for Willie Mullins, is attended by stable companion James de Burley, as these two stretch their advantage to 5 to 6 lengths of Mighty Potter, Sir Gerhard, Appreciated. Another gap on the field of Bride's Hill, Authorized Art, and adamantly chosen. On to fence number 6, the first of 2 ditches. It's Flame Bearer and James de Burley up and over. Good 5 lengths in front of Mighty Potter, disputing the third with Sir Gerhard, and then Appreciated with the final 3. The one adrift, Bride's Hill, Authorized Art, and adamantly chosen. Fence number 7, just outside the halfway stage. Flame Bearer up and over from James de Burley. Landing together in 3rd and 4th respectively, Mighty Potter and Sir Gerhard, followed by Appreciated, then Bride's Hill, Authorized Art, and adamantly chosen. As they race to the next fence, right up at the top of the track, it's 9 from home. Flame Bearer and Sean O'Keefe, a length to good over James de Burley and Daddle Jacob. 5 lengths to Mighty Potter and Keith Donoghue, taking the fence just in 3rd from Sir Gerhard and Patrick Mullins. Followed downhill to the next 2 fences by Appreciated and Paul Townend, then Bride's Hill, Luke Dempsey, in company with Authorized Art, Danny Mullins, and adamantly chosen Brian Hayes whips them in. They've passed the halfway stage. Over the next on the far side, it is Flame Bearer and James de Burley continuing 1 and 2, followed by Mighty Potter. Sir Gerhard, Mighty Potter is down and almost brought down Appreciated. Paul Townend has lost one of his arms. Mighty Potter and Keith Donoghue have got to their feet, as it is Flame Bearer by 2 lengths to James de Burley. 6 lengths then to Sir Gerhard and Appreciated, who's done well to stay in the race, and then adamantly chosen and Authorized Art. On now to the 6th last fence. It's Flame Bearer and James de Burley continuing out in front of Sir Gerhard, joined for 3rd by Appreciated, and then adamantly chosen and Authorized Art as they make the run to the 5th last fence. 5 furlongs to go, and it's Flame Bearer in the lead and extending the advantage to 2.5 lengths over James de Burley, both closing. Stable companions Sir Gerhard and Appreciated as they come now to this fence, and it's Flame Bearer who nodded on landing from James de Burley. Poised is Sir Gerhard, then Appreciated, adamantly chosen, and Authorized Art. The 6 to the left in the razor, trained by Willie Mullins. The fence on the turn into the straight. James de Burley rejoins Flame Bearer, but poised on the outside is Sir Gerhard. In touch is Appreciated, a long way clear of adamantly chosen and Authorized Art. They swing into the straight with 3 fences left to jump in the Grade 1 Willow Warm Gold Cup. It's Flame Bearer from James de Burley, coming there on the stand side, horse with the white face, Sir Gerhard. Right in behind them is Appreciated. appreciated. On the run towards the second last, off to the left was appreciated. It's Flame Bearer followed through by Sir Gerhard. James de Burleigh is falling away at the second last. It's Flame Bearer from Sir Gerhard. Couple of lengths between them, then James de Burleigh and appreciated. In between the final two fences, it's still Flame Bearer from Sir Gerhard, who's now been stoked up on the near side, but Flame Bearer to the final fence and is over in front. Jumped it in tired fashion from Sir Gerhard and appreciated inside the final 150 yards, and they're wide across the track. Flame Bearer and Sir Gerhard the near side going to the line. It's Flame Bearer from Sir Gerhard. In third place was appreciated James de Burleigh authorised dart, and the final one to finish is adamantly chosen as Flame Bearer breaks glass ceilings for William Mullins today, and a big Grade 1 win for Sean O'Keefe.
Well, again, brutal race there. You could see at the end just how tired some of those horses were jumping the last. But we have to touch on Mighty Potter. The fall looked bad, and unfortunately it proved to be a fatal fall for Mighty Potter. The 6-year-old, sired by Marteline out of a dam called Matney, sadly lost his life there in the Grade 1 Gold Cup. I mean, people take a look just how much potential this horse had. I mean, he ran to 164 when he beat Gaillard de Menil as a subsequent Cheltenham Festival winner by 4.5 lengths. He then ran again to above 160 when Davy Russell steered him round at Leopardstown in the Ladbrokes Novice Chase in February. He then, as we said, ran slightly below that when third at Cheltenham, when again ridden by Davy Russell, and then sadly lost his life when falling, when ridden by Keith Donoghue for the first time in his career. Very bad fall there. The horse was also collided with another horse as it tried to get up, which was terrible to see, really. And all condolences to the owners, Caldwell Construction. Very sad loss of a horse. A Group 1 winning novice hurdler. Dual Group 1 winning novice chaser as well. Not much else to say, really, when terrible sporting tragedies, equine tragedies like this happen. James de Burleigh again was well beaten on that day. He was the first of the 4 that were left. Again, like you heard the commentator touch on it. I mean, the last 6 standing were all trained by the same man. Again, they all look different to the eye. They've all got different colours on. So I'm not really sure what people can do to stop one man determining the winner of these races. You know, but we have to just trust the connections, which is difficult when things in the first race happen. You know, Sir Gerhard ran well to finish second. Appreciate it, plugged on. And James de Burleigh was not really any match for those 3 on the day. Running to a mark of 133, well clear of the last 2 to finish. Bride's Hill also was pulled up. Terrible to lose Mighty Potter in that fashion, but the polarity of racing is so strange that in the very next race at the festival, which was a €59,000 bumper, there was actually a half-sister also out of the dam of Matney going round in the bumper at 5:30, identified by us. Brighter days ahead. It won well on its bumper debut, lining up nicely for this big pot of €59,000. She went off as quite a warm favourite, and let's see how the race panned out.
Barry Hannon to call them up.
White flag is raised. And they're off over 2 miles in the Tattersalls Island George Myrna Memorial Sales bumper. Up front it is Top Gun Simi. Prominent is Iceberg Theory, and between them and the white cap is Brighter Days Ahead, followed on settling down by Punch Perfect. Not far behind them is Nelson Muntz and In the Blood. More to the near side is Junior de Mott and De Capo in between horses. Not far behind them is Colleen Dano. It's getting tight in there in mid-division. Top Gun Simi, just the leader from Iceberg Theory. Brighter Days Ahead next and running the rail. There's Punch Perfect, then De Capo and Field of Tishels. Moving up in between horses, followed away from the stands by Colleen Dano. And then Tommy's Call, and on the outside is Junior de Mott with In the Blood. Arrows Look next, and then Grand Slam Sam. And Man Freddy being followed by Cola Blaze. The grey on the inside is Ghost Jury as they meet Rising Ground up along the side of the track. Willie the Builder is towards the rear of the field with Tullabrecht Lad as they race up towards the final mile and a half. And up right back to the tail end is Nelson Muntz, as it is Top Gun Simi and Iceberg Theory. These two showing in front of Brighter Days Ahead. On the inside, the quartered colours of Punch Perfect, and then Field of Tishels, who's followed by De Capo. Grand Slam Sam has picked up a bit of ground on the outside. They're being followed by Colleen Dano and Junior de Mott. After them is Tommy's Call with Man Freddy and Cola Blaze, and In the Blood, Nero's Luck. Willie the Builder and Ghost Jury. With the final couple, Tullabrecht Lad and Nelson Muntz. Less than 10 furlongs to go in the 8th and final Tattersalls Island George Myrna Memorial Sales bumper. And it is Top Gun Simi on the inside of Iceberg Theory, being followed by the sole winner in the field, Brighter Days Ahead. Then Field of Tishels on the inside of Colleen Dano, and then Grand Slam Sam as they reach the halfway stage. Well stacked up, it's Top Gun Simi still sharing the lead with Iceberg Theory, followed closely by Brighter Days Ahead. On the rail is Punch Perfect with Field of Tishels, and then De Capo and Colleen Dano, Junior de Mott and Grand Slam Sam, and Tommy's Calling In the Blood and Man Freddy and Cola Blaze, and then Arrow's Luck, who's being followed then by Ghost Jury. 6 furlongs to go. Little changes up front. It is Top Gun Simi, Tom Hamilton, still mixing it with Iceberg Theory and Declan Lavery. Tracked closely in third, Brighter Days Ahead and Harry Swan. And then Field of Tishels on the inside as they pass to 5. Then De Capo. Grand Slam Sam is on the outside of Junior de Mott as they've got less than 5 furlongs to go. Top Gun Semi-matching strides with Iceberg Theory, followed by Brighter Days Ahead and Field of Tishels. Away to the inside is Punch Perfect. More to the outer is Junior de Mott and De Capo. Ridden along is Grand Slam Sam, and then Tommy's Call, Colleen Dano and In the Blood next, being followed by Arrow's Luck. Spinning into the straight, 3 furlongs to go. Iceberg Theory just in front. From on the inside, Top Gun Simi, followed by De Capo and Brighter Days Ahead. On the stand side is Junior de Mott, closing is Tommy's Call, and then Field of Tishels. They race past the 2. Top Gun Simi is tackled by De Capo, and on the far side, Brighter Days Ahead. The stable companions on either side of Top Gun Simi, then Tommy's Call and Field of Tishels, being followed then by Willie the Builder, who stays on, but getting to the front is Brighter Days Ahead. Leads inside the final 200 yards. It's Brighter Days Ahead, 3 to 4 lengths clear. This is just what the Cullentra mood needed, as Brighter Days Ahead makes it 2 out of 2 in the George Myrna Memorial Sales bumper. Top Gun Simi, Tommy's Call. On the inside was Field of Tishels, and then Willie the Builder, De Capo, Man Freddy next.
I mean, what can people say about the performance of that horse? It speaks for itself, wasn't it? Flawless. Absolutely flawless performance there to land that bumper, €59,000 pot from Brighter Days Ahead. I will say again, though, the rating of the race, they only rated it at this stage 110. So you would not think for that pot it was the strongest renewal. A lot of these horses just starting their National Hunt flat careers. They might even come back in this sphere next season. It'll be interesting to see what they do. But that was a textbook ride by the £5 claimer, Harry Swan, who looks a fantastic prospect in the saddle. I will admit that. Looks very good. And I thought he steered the horse home very well. You'll see there, that the horse, according to win a £59,000 pot of Fairyhouse, ran to 10 less than it did when it won in February at Gowan Park. So that just says the strength of the race. That might not be fantastic and what all it could be. Mr. H. Swan there has managed to lose £2 this month though. So his claim, very good value for his £5 claim, I think. But the horse by today's ahead, you see, is now 2 out of 2. And who knows where the ceiling of this horse is. You've just seen there again by Matney. The same as Mighty Potter. Mighty Potter won a grade 1 over hurdles and 2 grade 1 over fences as a novice. By today's ahead, although it's always sad to lose a horse. Rest in peace, Mighty Potter. But this cheered me up no end to see the younger 4-year-old version of Mighty Potter prove good enough to land this £59,000 bump. The more I look at the age of this horse, the more I think that it might come back as a novice, as a bumper horse next season. Supreme Novices at 5 can be tricky. It can be very tricky. I'm not even saying it's a Supreme Novices horse. Mighty Potter wanted a bit further than that. Than the 2 miles, didn't it, really? So that was the Fairyhouse Easter Festival again. Slightly underwhelming, it's fair to say, because the only one winner we had only won at 5-4. In fact, it was a performance loaded with promise, though. But we've noticed a theme developing at these festivals that we're identifying a few too many short price losers at this stage, which is far from ideal. And if we're going to do that, the strike rate needs to be a lot better than having runners in 4 races and only winning one of them. Very disappointing. Mighty Potter sadly lost his life. By today's ahead managed to make sure that it wasn't a blank festival for us. But for now, I don't think there's much point banging on about Fairyhouse. I'm going to leave this video here. What I will do at the end of the video is put a few steers up to allow people to subscribe if they are that way inclined. And also, I will put up a playlist for all the National Hunt reviews. We've got the Dublin Festival and the Cheltenham Festival already in the playlist as well. Some previews, some reviews as well. This will be found there also in due course. But for now, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. Take care, everybody. A quick reminder, Classic Watch 2023.ml is the prize, is the place if you want to see how we're doing on the flat. But for now, take care, everybody, and look after yourselves.